Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Gyle here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. Happy Thursday to each and every one of you guys. Very exciting stuff. And because we're so excited, I thought we'd celebrate with some custom 5v5 action with a few pros thrown into the mix, because why the hell not? First of all, a couple of tournament-related announcements. Speed 2 would like to remind everybody that his King and Prince of Map tourney kicks off this weekend. That's right, they're yet to find a decent name for it, but we shall stick with it for now. It's going to kick off with Open Palms, and that's going to start on Saturday at 7 PM GMT plus 1. That's 7 PM GMT plus 1. If you're interested in signing up for that, guys, all the information is in the tourney tab on FAF. To remind you of the divisions, if you're wanting to enter the Prince division, sorry, the King division, you're going to have to be over 1500 ladder rankings, or stress, or over 1600 global, one of the two. The rest of you guys will have to make do with the Prince. There's no Queen or Princess of map. It's very unfair. We've got a few excellent female players here at FAF. Not likely to win it, I have to say. Generally, it's probably going to be a German man who wins most of them, or a Russian man, one of the two, but that's just the way it is. But anyway, another one coming in as well from the Egg Roll. We spoke about his Pro-Am, his Joe Pro tourney, 2v2 tourney yesterday. No, it was yesterday, sorry, Tuesday, last cast. And that is now online on the tourney tab as well. Few sign-ups in already, guys, but if you're interested in getting involved with that, if you're a Joe, you need to find a pro and berate him, convince him to take you on. And it should be good fun, actually. It's a real mix-up, those kinds of tourneys. So check it out. We want to get more sign-ups up for that. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's take a look at today's game. Like I said, it's going to be a 5v5, and it's all going to go down on Wonder 5v5 version 3. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. And I had a huge backlog of maps and replays and things coming in from while I was away. Some of you may have noticed I was away for a little while there. And I haven't had a chance to look at any of them, and this isn't one of them, actually. I don't know why I mentioned it, but this is an older replay sent in by Brainfart. Thank you very much to him. He's been diligently going through backlog of stuff. So if this was casted by another caster ages ago and you've seen it, I do apologise, but I thought it was a pretty good one, and there's lots of other good ones to come soon. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's take a look at the teams. We'll call this Team 1 up here at the top, this Team 2 down here at the bottom. Going first for Team 1 up here, rearguard air position in Fecal Brown, it's Ish, and he's going Aeon, opening first air. Very sensible indeed. To his right, team member number 2 for Team 1, it's none other than this year's winner of the Polite Player Award, it's Maverick, and he's going UEF in Elephantine Grey, opening first and second land. And to his left over here, it's Jack Tequila, fresh off his latest private detective case in Burgundy Red, also going UEF, also opening first land. Fourthly, if I can get that word out correctly, for Team 1, it's Artifacts, also going UEF, and he's in breast cancer awareness pink, opening first land. And last but not least, breaking with tradition for the front row of Team 1, it's Zoc, and he's going Seraphim in Halib Orange, opening first, second, and third land. So that's Team 1. Let's take a look at Team 2 nice and quickly, because they're already moving towards the middle. Down here at the bottom in Spetsnaz Grey, it's JMD. It probably says something else, German Doll or something like that, or Saul, something, I don't know, crazy. Anyway, he's misclicked and gone Cybrin, and he's opening first and second air. And secondly, up here at the top, we've got Taquito also going Cybrin in, what is that? Yeah, it's kind of combat green, isn't it? That's what we always called it. And he's going first and second land. Down here to his left, he's way up to the middle, reclaiming stuff as we speak. Soviet Pride, zappy stuff there. Another Cybrin, and he's going Ferrari Red, opening first land. Down here, we're going to break with tradition and go Seraphim. He's buggered off somewhere. There we go. And another name, can't pronounce it all. We're going to call him A5. And he's in lurid green, so tons of greens going on. And just chilling, because, you know, you don't really have to do much in this game. It's always fun to stand around, have a quick cigarette break in the middle there. And last but not least, it's the one chap with a name that sounds like someone you'd actually hang out with in real life. It's Robert C. How very pleasant. Anyway, he's going UEF, opening first, second, third, fourth, fifth land. Got to go land all day, because why? the hell not. He's moving towards the middle as we speak, and actually is doing a little bit of harass. Don't do it, Robert. Your rating is 1,000 and you'll piss Zoc off. Mech Marines coming into Zoc's base as we start. That's brutal. Zoc's going to want to get a handle on that. Lots of build capacity vulnerable over on this side. And the first couple of engineers about to fall foul of it. There goes one. Zoc, you're losing to 1,000 rated player. That's like losing to me. How terribly embarrassing. Lots of engineers getting massacred. That's great stuff from our Joe at the bottom there. Always nice to see a little bit of pew-pew happening elsewhere on the map, and that would be Tokito doing much the same to Maverick up here at the top, only not with labs. He's chosen a Mantis. That's his weapon of choice, and that is actually slowly getting beaten down now by the first striker on the field there for Maverick. A few more coming in around the corner as well, but Maverick's ACU is nearby. The question is, can he see that? Well, he will do now. Engineer taking a little bit of fire from the right. Maverick seems intent on finishing his build queue, though, at least for the moment. But one lab still alive. Oh, kill that NG before it picks up that rock. Oh, no. Probably a wise decision. He's got Thams bearing down on him. Can you scale that? Are you kidding me? I was always certain that they were unscalable at the back there. Mech Marine going all Bear Grylls over the map. They're just the coolest things in the world, aren't they? Tidy little, exceptionally fast. Imagine if those were actual trees, how quickly that guy is booking it right now. I'd have at you with my massive fire cannons. The engineers are actually pretty enormous. Gives you an idea of the scale of things in Subcom. But anyway, in around the back, Robert C doing fantastic work harassing. There's still one Tham of Zocs trying to catch up, but he's not going to as long as Robert C manages to keep moving. But meanwhile, straight up the middle, A5 causing a few issues there for Team 1, throwing a few Zooies and Thams right up the center there, but not going to get too much done there. Looks like Jack Tequila and Artifacts are ready with some T1 spam to curtail that little push. A5 in the center, Zoc coming to the center as well. 5 minutes gone in this one, and Zoc already with gun is going to roll in there. A5 wants to be a little bit careful. He definitely isn't going to have the DPS to stand up to Zoc in a straight up fight. Got Span coming in to assist a little bit and wisely moving away towards Soviet Pride. We have got an upgrade going on Robert C, but Robert C in danger of losing these forward units. Needs to keep them in between his ACU and Zoc's ACU, though. Doesn't want Zoc to march straight up here and force him to cancel that upgrade. I think even if Zoc does come for him now, he should be okay. Remember, of course, UEF, a little bit larger buffer, a little bit larger tank on the ACU there. Nearly done on that. He should be all right. A5 coming back into the center, and Artifacts comes in to join Zoc. So this is a lot of firepower that Team 1 have on the field right now in the center. Engineers feeling the wrath of Zoc's upgraded gun. Left, right, and center. A5 backing up. He's got around 9,000 HP left in the tank. Engineers of his furiously throwing up some T1 PD, but we have a lot of Zooies in here from Zoc that should be able to insta that if he sees it, and indeed he has. A couple of shells land, doing some damage, and also taking out one of the engineers. Meanwhile, A5 still backing up, going into the yellow. 7,500 hit points remaining on him. Zoc continuing to pursue. Artifacts not far behind. Soviet Pride is retreating back to base. Not a bad decision. We've got some Cerberus point defense turrets going back up there for him, so some 2-2 PD on the way. He has a place to retreat to if he can get it online, but A5 nearly going into the red now, below 3,500 HP. Gets a rank of veterancy at a crucial time, which adds a chunk back on, but he's still under pressure. Zoc not willing to give up on this push. Into the red he goes, 2,000 hit points and falling. He's also pressing in Zoc with a few extra units of T1 spam. I don't think A5 is going to be able to get out of this. Zoc piling on the pressure now. He's well under 500 hit points and overcharged to finish it. Down he goes. Zoc claims the first scalp in just 7 minutes. And with 7,000 hit points to spare, he's looking pretty good. JMD and Artifacts in the area as well. JMD taking fire now, but we've got a Skyhook coming in with Fire Beetles on board, going straight for Zoc from Taquito. It's landing on top. All he has to do is drop them on the ground, and Zoc is beaten down at 7.5 minutes. So, a stunning play from Taquito, who's incidentally under pressure up here from Maverick, or at least he was, until he managed to erect some Cerberus turrets, and Maverick's going to back up. A stunning play from him. Levels the game. In fact, it does more than that. That is Team 1's star player out of the game. So very unhappy about the amount of scouting that's gone on, and that has emboldened Robert now to move forward with his comm. What's he got on there? Is that T? So he's got 1500 HP on there. We can surmise then for that he went for the T2 upgrade on his commander. Artifacts forcing to back up. This is exactly the right thing for Robert to be doing right now. He needs to move forward and prevent Artifacts from getting all of this free reclaim if he can. It's not an easy thing to do, especially on this closed version of the map. You don't often see regular Wonder 5v5 or the other variations. You tend to see the open variations of the map where you haven't got these corner mountains in, and it's much easier to flank around the edges of the map and cause problems from your players. But alas, we're not playing that at the moment. T2 radar going up there for Robert. If I were him, I would be throwing down some PD to try and cut off all of these factories from any potential engineers that want to be making in there. But look out, Maverick has a big gun and is very upset, has just strolled up here and is pummeling the front of Taquito's base. Hasn't managed to take out the other three Cerberus turrets, though. Shield gen is down, and he needs to be pretty careful here. He's down to around 6,500 HP, and now we've got Rhinos coming in from Soviet Pride as well. 4,700 HP left. Decent overcharge deals with one of them. 2 remain, and he goes down into the red, but he's going to be going out of range of those Cerberus turrets soon. Maverick cutting things very fine indeed there. Manages to get out, so it's a nice hold there from Taquito. But that really has transformed the nature of this game. That Fire Beetle attack, that is the all in honor of RK4000, the man who's obsessed with Fire Beetles. That one's for you, buddy. Stunning play there from Taquito. Very nice indeed. Lovely to see variations on snipes other than late game strap bomber rushes or tactical missile launchers. Skyhook Fire Beetle to the face. Always entertaining. But anyway, a counter push here from Taquito's comm, who looks like he's gone gun as well. Rate of fire pretty significant, going straight after Maverick. Senses potentially a kill on the cards initially, but Maverick wisely setting his build capacity to throw together T1 PD ASAP. Taquito not going to press that against that kind of static defense. Hasn't got any assistance, it's just his comm. He's going to back up and reinforce this central position. But ground gained generally for Team 2. Having said that, Robert C now under pressure from Artifacts. One Stinger on the field, so he's made transition to T2 air, causing a few problems. Robert wisely sets his ACU to building some railguns, some T1 anti-air, and fortunately for him, he's got a few archers in the mix as well. So some anti-air to speak of around his commander. Needs to be a little bit careful here. It's an awful lot of units on the field there for Artifacts, but that ACU is going to be key, and I like what he's doing here. Triads going up all over the place. Utilize that awesome UEF point defense, because why not? It's all good to see. How is our air player for Team 2 doing? He's working on mass T2 power at the moment, and he's going straight for T3 air as well. 77% complete on that. How does that match up against his opponent up here? Well, Ish is actually ahead of him, about to complete T3. There it goes, and immediately starts work on some ASFs. So that could be interesting. Slight tech advantage, only very slight there for Team 1. but massive power advantages by the looks of things. JMD Team 2's air player on 2.9k, and you can see he's having power issues at the moment, whereas Ish sitting on 6k, and he is just utilizing his power perfectly, not overspent on power production, got just enough of a buffer to comfortably work on air. And that's a strap bomber, which very early on could be exceptionally powerful. Got a bit of pinging going on down here. I'm sure that'd probably be a attack ping if that was Team 1, but it does look like that strap bomber is beelining straight for Robert C's ACU, who's busy building all kinds of static D, buzz kills and triads. One bomb away knocks him down a peg, down to around 1100, and 3 more stingers come in, but so much anti-air now on the field, they're not going to survive too long. Another pass takes him down to 700. That's got to be concerning him a little bit. We have got the odd ASF coming in to join the party from JMD, but not enough. Another one coming in, going straight after that strap bomber, but lovely parashield turns up in the nick of time. Robert C, though, down to the red, 3,400 hit points, needs as much support from his teammates as possible. Artifacts, though, sensing weakness, is going to press Robert's ACU now with all of his T1 spam. There's a danger that he could lose it if he doesn't manage to kill the ACU here. There are an awful lot of triads in the area. Robert C, does he have access to overcharge? Yes, he does, and then some. Huge power reserves for Robert C, but I'm not seeing him overcharge as much as I would like to. Definitely needs to get on that. Missing a trick there. Another strap bomber inbound takes him down to 300 hit points, and that's going to be it, surely. But he gets a rank of veterancy at the crucial time, knocking him back up over 1500. And there's an overcharge to help sort a few problems out. And in come the Rhinos from Soviet Pride and some more of his own pillars. Never have reinforcements been more welcome, but a strap bomber comes in for another pass, and it's not going to matter. Ish very nicely puts his team in the lead once again. It is now 4 versus 3. So good work from him, and that strap bomber, of course, still alive, now circling for another target. And they do have air dominance. You can see ASFs from Ish circling over the top of JMD's base. If that strap bomber gets in and nails some of this build capacity, or worse still, kills that reactor, it's going to go straight after that horde of engineers. 20 kills now to its name. Only problem is, of course, is this Myrmidon right in the center. Another strap bomber in as well. Very, very aggressive play from Ish. That one not going to get a second pass in, though. And he's actually pausing with the second one, working out what his next play is going to be. And in he comes again, going after that ion reactor. Oh no! Strays into the anti-aircraft range of Soviet Pride there. Couple of other Myrmidons just causing issues. So good defensive work from Team 2. Manages to keep the ion reactor alive. If JMD had lost that, that could have been cataclysmic for Team 2's chances. It's a good word, isn't it? I was going to go with catastrophic, but cataclysmic, so much more appealing. TAC missiles away, though, meanwhile, from Artifacts, and that looks like it's inbound towards Taquito's forward T2 mechs. So a little bit of mass sniping going on potentially, or did I speak too soon? No, that's definitely going after resourcing options. And he's going to mix it up between Taquito and Soviet Pride. That T1 mech's at the front there, around 65% done on its progression to T2, but not going to complete. So depressing. It's even worse when you're upgrading a mech and it just hits T2 or T3 and then instantly gets killed. Utterly brutal. But now the pace of the game slows as the players work on filling up the gaps left by their deceased teammates. Posturing units there from Artifacts. Some T1 queued up on the left. Not going to get too much done with that, I suspect, being as we're now seeing T3 emerge onto the field. Soviet Pride sitting there with a couple of loyalists just waiting for artifacts to come his way. Take a look at what he can see. Well, not the best intel coverage on this side of the map. That is a large blank spot for him, so definitely potentially an opening, but there it goes as his power issues are sorted for a moment. They're going to go again though. Needs to sort his power ASAP, and that is indeed what he's working on. Ion reactors queued up in their thousands at the bottom there, but Maverick under sustained ranged attack now from Soviet Pride's trebuchets sitting up at Taquito's front line, but Maverick not one to allow any of his other units to get the job done, has tooled up his ACU to colossal proportions and is now bulldozing his way towards the front line. Personal shield in tow, gun upgrade, tech upgrade, 16,500 hit points on the main tank there, with 24,000 hit points on the shield. It's a very tanky ACU indeed. Talking experimental proportions, and way before there are any experimentals due to join the map. Monkey Lord has been started down here by Soviet Pride, but that's going to be a ways away before it's completed. And Maverick now just pummeling his way through the front line. Pillars in support, taking an awful lot of fire from those Cerberus turrets. Maverick takes his first T3 artillery shell to the face, but he doesn't care, just sits there and overcharges 3 T2 units like it's no big deal. And that's at least taking the pressure off his forward base, although he has lost that little forward fire base that was equipped with triads and shields and all the rest of it. But success on the other side of the field now as loyalists counter push from Soviet Pride, and there's still virtually nothing on the ground in the void which was Zok's base. Just T1 mexes all around. A little bit of harassment coming in there from Ish. Takes out 2 loyalists with a couple of strap bombers. Very nice indeed. Taking a quick look at the air game, it does appear to me on the face of it that Ish is well ahead. 30 ASFs for him. JMD contrastingly sitting on 19, so definitely Team 2 behind in the air game, as they have been throughout. There's no doubt about it. Ish has a slightly more efficient build for this map. Maverick backing up a little, doesn't want to get too far ahead of himself. I'm wondering if he's missing out on a trick here, though. That Monkey Lord that Soviet Pride started a moment ago is up to around 40%, 45% complete. Soon to get assistance from JMD, but this is all time that could have been spent wrecking Taquito's base with that ACU. When they're taking too many overcharges to deal with these Cerberus turrets back here and here. Or could potentially have worked on some of the forward mexes from Soviet Pride. Of course, the danger is you get too far, you can't outrun a Monkey Lord with an ACU, or indeed any of the experimentals. They are built to catch them. So Maverick at least survives to fight another day. And the range harassment from Team 2 begins once again, this time from Taquito, who starts moving trebuchets into position. Artifacts throwing an upgrade on his comm, and strap bombers queuing up by the half dozen in the center there. See if we can glean any information about where they're headed. Fighter screen going up first for Ish. It looks like they've been ordered back to base. He doesn't fancy it for the moment. Perhaps it was the quantity of myrmidons that he's discovered that Soviet Pride has just been littering the field with. There's a pretty effective defensive screen Of course, those of you who haven't played FAF but maybe played Subcom in the old days, Myrmidons are a lot more effective, or T3 anti-air are a lot more effective than they used to be. They are carrying a little less HP because they were ridiculously hard to kill, and quite frankly that was unnecessary. They're much better at dealing with hordes of units. Monkey Lord complete though, meanwhile, there for Soviet Pride. Not sending it out straight away. And Maverick, his shield looking pretty badly depleted at the back there. He's going to start on some base shields to give him a little bit more cover, allow that thing to recharge. But dramatic slowing in pace since the beginning of the game. Maverick wanting to deal with that trebuchet, sending his old redundant T1 span to intercept. Should be successful in killing it. Was that a friendly shell? I think that was a little bit of friendly fire that helped that one on its way there. Monkey Lord now making its way towards Maverick's base. What have Team 1 got to repel it? That is the question. Seeing any Ravagers in play yet for Maverick on his side. In fact, not seeing that many at all from anyone. Jack Tequila, recognizing the threat, has started work on a few at the front of his forward fire base. Lord should stray into range of that. A couple of those forward factories down there. Maverick won't be too upset about that. They weren't doing anything. Strap bombers being pinged for assistance. Presumably that is one of the frontline players asking Ish to bomb that Monkey Lord. So now we've got a major air engagement kicking off over the center, and are those fighters coming in for the strats? Yes, they are. One pass takes down a couple of them. Ish brings in his own Intis, sorry, not Intis, ASFs to intercept. Hit the brakes and they'll fly right by, but a few more strat bombers lost. That group whittled down to 3. Has handed air dominance firmly back over to Ish once again. Monkey Lord recognizing the threat, backs up. Another one emerges on the field, this time under the control of Taquito. The build-up of experimentals on this front line could cause major issues for Jack Tequila, because his ACU is sitting in that forward firebase. Gun a couple of stingers, but they're not going to get much done, especially with bangers escorting those Monkey Lords. But that is a very timely Colossus emerging onto the field there for Ish. Making his way to the front line, just in front of, well, literally to Jack Tequila's base. We'll be very grateful for the assistance as Fred and his friends bear down on that forward position. But no Omni up the front, of course, means those Ravagers just aren't operating at full functionality. Jack Tequila has backed up out of there. Very wise decision as far as I'm concerned. But Soviet Pride sees the Colossus Ray and turns around. I kind of feel like this is a mistake. Those Monkey Lords deal an incredible amount of damage. Yes, they don't have the tank of some of the larger experimentals, but have the largest amount of DPS, I think, of any unit in the game, pretty much, with that main cannon. It's 4,000 DPS they spit out with that thing. 2 Monkey Lords, I'm pretty certain, could handle a couple of Ravagers and a Colossus if they sync up their attacks correctly, but not wanting to risk losing the fight and gifting mass. Team 2 withdraw them. How Artifacts feeling like testing the waters over on this side, is going to move in with a mix of Aeon and UEF Tech. A couple of Titans out in front, but Aurora's in to support. A few Cerberus turrets at the back there, going after the lead Titan. Shield finally depleted on that unit. Meanwhile, the dance of the experimentals on the right-hand flank continues. Taquito's been gifted that other experimental from Soviet Pride, so he can better control the tempo of the fight on that side. And once again, we're starting to see some mobile T3 arty make their way to the front lines for Team 2. Maverick there trying to counter with a few barrages of his own. Demolisher up there at the front, and I think he'll manage to get it. In fact, I think these two are going to take each other out with that blow. Demolisher could survive if it was moved just this instant, but it won't be. But nice run by from Artifacts, managed to skirt around the Cerberus fire on that left-hand side there, making its way towards the back of Taquito's base. However, Whalers now in season for our rear player here for Team 2. JMD should be able to deal with these. Titans don't dish out a huge amount of firepower, remember. They're pretty tanky, fast, fantastic against T1. Whalers, on the other hand, do dish out a lot of damage. And now we have a crab on the field as well for Soviet Pride. And that is surely going to be enough firepower to finally break this forward position of Jax here. Colossus returning to the fore, but too late to do anything about it. Shield gen goes down. Jack gonna lose that forward T2 power plant, not the end of the world. He's got enough power kicking about. Two Colossi, in fact, up front, and better fire prioritization from them means Fred is going to be leaving us, followed soon by the right Colossus, I believe, and then this other Monkey Lord. In come a wave of Stingers, but they're going to get massacred by JMD's ASFs, who turn up to clean the skies. They're going to get seen away by Ish, but the damage is done. Colossus kills off that Monkey Lord, and now it's Colossus versus Megalith. But things are going to go better for the Megalith as it backs up, utilizing that all-important withdrawing feature. Mercy's coming in, pushing a lot of damage out, but that kill grants a rank of veterancy, restoring a little bit of extra HP and keeping that experimental in the game. Attack missile barrage away again from Artifacts, harassing Soviet Pride, and it's a Billy nuke, I believe. Billy nuke that refuses to die to TMD. There we go. Absorbing an awful lot of fire there. So offering his expertise to his teammates on the sidelines. Another Billy away. Really can be constructed so incredibly quickly. And they're going to be used as nuclear point defense against these experimentals that keep challenging the right-hand side of the map. In it comes. A couple of engineers being airdropped in to pick up the mass, but they're not going to see another birthday as that nuclear TMD connects. The experimentals should be fine. It dishes out around 10,000 damage or somewhere thereabouts. See the Monkey Lord walking out of the Aurora there. It's down to around 16,000 HP and a few volleys from some Ravagers. Just clipping HP off it. The longer it stands in this position, that T2 PGen finally goes down. Another Billy Nuke inbound. Here it comes. This could be very bad for all of the ASFs flying over the middle. Ish doesn't want to get caught in his teammates. Nuclear explosion. Boom, baby. That was very close indeed, and rather astonishingly, despite how well the early game went for Ish in the air, now finds himself behind, I believe. Taking a quick look at what's going on here. 67 ASFs on the field there for JMD. Ish on just 14. So massive advantage air-wise, at least for the moment. But still, those two experimentals forced to retreat in the wake of the nuclear fire being laid down by artifacts. Another one coming in this side. And there's not so much TMD down here. Expect this one to land. The shields should absorb most of that, although they are unupgraded shields. Give you an idea of how quickly those Billy Nukes are built. See the progress bar takes virtually no time at all. Another one away. Where's it going? This time into the heart of Soviet Pride's extended resourcing operation. Decent shielding out here should be enough to protect. One Zapper gets a shot off. Oh my goodness, that was close. That was about to detonate. Incredibly close. Clutch TMD kill there from JMD's TMD. There's a whole lot of three-letter acronyms for you. But this time another push on the left, and it's Percival's coming in from Artifacts, and they really do mean business. And Robert C's old base soon to be cleared out, I believe. Whalers coming in though from JMD. It's going to take them a while to chew through all of the HP on those Percivals. Ah! That one literally hit the back of the crab. Get a chance to see how many HP were on it. He wasn't looking particularly healthy last time, and I'm not seeing anything emerge from that explosion either. Nope, just a wrecked husk in the center of it. Nice work there from Artifacts. Really has stalled the attack on this right hand side. It's actually allowed Maverick to get a few Percies into the mix. That boy onto construction at the back there. Another Colossus moving to the front. 31.5 minutes gone in this one, and Team 1 have done a pretty good job of stabilizing things after what looked like a wonky passage of play. Experimentals steaming their way up the center here. Taking a quick look at Eco. Artifacts momentarily seem to be way out in front, but I think that was a massive reclaim bubble. So actually it's Ish who has ecoed the hardest. 361 mass per tick, followed rather surprisingly not by his mirror down here, the other air player, but actually Soviet Pride, who's running 313 in second place. JMD just breaking 300 for what looks like the first time. Everybody else still in the 100 to 200 range. Whalers come in, snipe a few mass points, and get out before Ish can respond. Very nice indeed, and JMD happy to bring his own ASFs in to cover that. They're going to lose one or two to some SAMs as they fly over Artifacts' forward position, but he won't worry about that. He's way out in front, but look out, counter push over on the east edge of the map. Colossus led with Percival's in support. How much damage can they wrought on Taquito's base, who is backing up out of there with his ACU? He has got a Megalith sitting in the shield and a Monkey Lord as well, so should be able to stall this. Monkey Lord is going to die. Whalers in to support. Colossus dropping below 25,000 HP. That is a good target to go for. I highly suggest you do. It will take out the Omni as well. But unfortunately, it's not to be. Percival still alive, could potentially get the job done if they prioritize the target. Much more concerned about laying down some damage on the Megalith. I think they're going to get anything accomplished there. So we've got strategic missile defense in place for JMD. Look at what everybody's actually building. Another one in place there for Soviet Pride. So the core of Team 2 looks pretty well defended against potential nuclear attack. And we do have one with one loaded there at the back for Ish. Jack Tequila, contrastingly, his base looking devoid of strategic missile defense, and that's the same, I believe, for Maverick. Artifacts so spread out, he's hardly got a base left at all now, really. And that is quite the spread out defensive template we've got going on down here for Ish. Very pretty stuff. And that's actually a strategic missile launcher, which I missed last time as well, with a nuke over half done. That's not a bad call from JMD. He knows he's been ahead historically in the air game. He can afford to spend mass on a few other things. But now it's March of the Crabs over on the eastern edge of the map. One from Soviet Pride and JMD, forcing the last couple of Percivals for Maverick back under shield cover. That shield, though, not likely to hold very long should those Crabs decide to press, and I would very much recommend that they do. They are in an incredibly strong position, but only for the moment. Fat Boys are nearly complete. Well, one is. Another one coming up to around 75% done. But another Billy launched out over here. They can afford to tank a few of these. Those two Crabs looking pretty fresh. It's almost like they knew where it was going. I think, that one over there is outside the blast radius, but the Megalith belonging to Taquito does get caught. Loses that 10k or so of health, and Maverick now in a position he's bought enough time for himself to bring that Fat Boy forward. And that's good motion prediction right there from Artifacts, recognizing the likely backing up there that he's going to be doing. And that's a lovely placed nuke right on top of it. And that really does sting. Down to 40,000 hit points and falling with Fat Boy in pursuit. And a Scathis on the way. Taquito pinging for construction assistance from his teammates. If that is likely to prove decisive as this game goes on. Megabot taking so much damage now as those artillery shells collide with the chassis.
Strategic launch detected.
And there it is. Presumably the one we saw. No! There was another nuke launcher in Soviet Pride's base as well. And where's he going? He's going straight for Maverick, who's wisely evacuating his commander. And another one, this time from JMD. And that one is going to Jack Tequila, whose comm is still in the base. And neither of these two guys have strategic missile defense. And that is the end of Maverick's base, and I think those are the game-winning nukes for Team 2, who were up a player for, well, just about most of this one. And another one. Ah, he does have SMD. He was working on an anti-nuke as well. Bam! Down he goes. Jack Tequila, our other Joe, ejected from the game. He did pretty damn well, actually. At 36 3/4 minutes, large air engagement kicks off over the top of Maverick's Fat Boy. It's now taking a lot of whaler fire. Down it goes. Ish manages to get in behind JMD's ASFs. Doesn't want to stick with them though. Switches instead to kill off as many whalers as he can. Now it is march of the support commanders from Soviet Pride as they make their way up the map, trying to collect as much of the experimental wreckage as they can. Look at that. That is a massive gaping hole in Team 1's infrastructure. Percival's running away from the crab there. The amount of wreckage on this field is astonishing. Maverick managed to retain a couple of T3 P-gens at the back there, which helps somewhat. Starting work on another Monkey Lord, but well, he's got a little bit of mass banked still. He's still got these fringe mexes. Rear 3 all at T3. This one over here at T2. Sorry, there's another one here as well. One of the core ones at the back. I talk about these are the cool ones down here. One of the other ones at the back here. And another Billy Nuke inbound. Ish catches some of Soviet Pride's support commanders with that GC. Ah, unbelievable. 3 zappers did fire, but they didn't manage to kill it. Question is, how much damage has that done to the units underneath the shield? The shield usually protects from at least one Billy Nuke pretty well. Nope, everything's dead. So Soviet Pride eating Billy Nuke fire. This one is coming straight over the top of one zapper. It's all about trajectory when these tactical missiles that take multiple TMD assaults. Boom! Very nice work indeed. Soviet Pride suffering greatly at the hands of Artifacts. He's exclaiming his displeasure, the fact that he has TMD. But that is the thing, the Billy Nuke takes multiple strikes. You need more than just the one, really. Sometimes you need more than 2. But Scathis online from Taquito, he got that together nice and quickly. And Artifacts is the primary target, that forward base. Now getting hailed upon with these massive artillery shells. Another Billy Nuke lands almost on top of that Soul Ripper there from Soviet Pride. You can almost trace the path that's being carved into his base now. Another one away. This one is going to be flying over at least 1 or 2 TMDs. that time, Billy Nuke was incapacitated. But a spider bot, Monkey Lord here, making its way around the edge of the map here on the left-ish. Didn't get too far with completing that inner ring of defenses on that template. A couple more were needed. Only 2 Oblivion launchers, Oblivion point defenses in that template by the sound of things. Spy planes out from JMD. Has he got planned? Well, we've got another nuke nearly ready, and that goes for both of them, in fact. Where was that? So there's the SMD. It has a couple of anti-nukes loaded. So that will be able to kill both of them. That will be a prime target for Team 2 if they can snipe that. Maverick getting re-established in his base up here. See a bit of coordination going on in chat there from Team 2 with regard to the nukes. Soviet Pride now running away with this one in eco. 463 mass per tick compared to Ish's 387, who really hasn't advanced very much in the last 10 or 15 minutes in terms of eco. I imagine he's done pretty damn well on reclaim as well. 145,000 there from Soviet Pride. And there goes the nuke from JMD. It's going after Artifacts, who immediately moves his commander, but that's plumb on, and this is not a large distance here. The nuke is coming inbound very quickly indeed. It is now a race to see how much ground Artifacts can put between him and the nuke's location. It's going to be very tight indeed. Boom! Down he goes. 42 minutes. And Artifacts is dispatched, and that is surely the end of the game now. Scath has made its way up to the front, but we can't see much of it in the end. See where its range actually reaches now. Well, that forward defensive template is in range.
Strategic launch detected.
And so is the strategic missile defense, more importantly. And you would think that would be the sensible place for those shells to be landing. And indeed, he is going directly for it, and he hits it plumb on. I'm wondering if there was a power outage or something there, because the shield didn't seem to even defend it from the first shot. Pretty sure Soviet Pride said he had another one loaded, and indeed he does.
Strategic launch detected.
And there it goes. That is the end of Ish's base and potentially his game. And in fact, Ish just dies to Scathis fire and leaves, or actually could have potentially just left as a result. The nuke will land, but there's nothing there to kill it, and of course the dreaded desync rears its ugly head, but the game is effectively over at this point. Maverick's still in it for the moment. Take a look at where his commander actually is. Over there to the left, running for no purposeful reason. He's not going to get away from anything. Those ASFs circling overhead. In come a couple of bricks. Maverick presumably able to overcharge those, but really, quite frankly, actually he's not able to overcharge. He's got no power storage left at all, and Maverick surrenders and drops out of the game. Team 2 pull off the victory in a snifter under 45 minutes. Very enjoyable game indeed. Guys, hope you enjoyed that. As always, more to come from me in the future. In the meantime, stay well and stay safe. This is Gyle, signing out.